My name is Will, and welcome to Switched On Teachers. Today I'll be looking at an app called Toontastic 3D. This game is published by Google and is 100% free on the App Store, with none of those nasty in-app purchases we see a lot of these days. It also does not require an internet connection at all, meaning that if the Wi-Fi mucks up in the classroom, we're still good to go. So, what do you do in Toontastic? Essentially, it is a cute little animated puppet storytelling app. It works by using your finger to move the puppets around and using the iPad's microphone to record speech for each character, allowing the students to create a narrative using puppets. When you are touching a character, its mouth will automatically move as if it is talking, and there is also the ability to move their hands or tap them to play a preset animation based on the character selected. However, I would recommend going into the settings at the main menu and turning off these advanced movements, as I found them to be far too fiddly and often ended up just moving my puppet's hand instead of their whole body, which made me have to redo takes. The game provides you with a variety of pre-made backdrops to choose from, such as a school, a spooky campsite, pirate ship, and other over-the-top levels. The game also has a vast and diverse array of characters following the themes of the backdrops. There is also an editor to allow students to create their own backgrounds and characters. Now, I am absolutely not an artist, but the tools given here are not useful enough to create nice-looking characters, especially compared to the beautiful pre-rendered backgrounds and characters supplied with the app. As great as it is to give students creative freedom, I would steer clear of letting my students customize their own characters, as I can foresee many students spending half an hour drawing their character instead of actually making their narrative. There are 3 different modes that you can choose from in Toontastic: Short Story, Classic Story, and Science Report. Let me get the Science Report out of the way first. There is no need to use this mode. There are much better apps out there that can incorporate photos, videos, and audio of the scientific process, such as Seesaw, Book Creator, and Explain Everything. In Toontastic, you would have to draw a background yourself and use a puppet to explain the process. It's just unnecessary and doesn't play to the strengths of the app. Short Story and Classic Story are much better. By default, a short story consists of 3 scenes and a classic story consists of 5 scenes that follow basic narrative conventions. A feature that I love though is the ability to edit this timeline and add extra scenes. This allowed me to implement the pebble, rock, boulder approach to narrative writing, where the problem escalates before being resolved. When you click on one of the scenes, you are treated to a short animation explaining what should be in that part of the story. This should be pretty helpful for the students, but I would recommend that they have their headphones on, or it'll drive you insane when you hear it for the 50th time. From here, you have your choice of background and the option to add characters to the scene, as well as incorporating any of your own terrible creations. You move characters by holding down on them and dragging them around the space. The levels themselves are quite large, with lots of different rooms. You can zoom the camera in or out by using the pinch gesture on the screen. I would recommend limiting the students to one part of the level per scene, as from my experience there is no easy way to transition between areas while controlling the characters. If multiple characters are moving at once, you need to use a finger on each of them to move them at the same time, which I found to be very difficult to pull off, especially if simple mode is not enabled. Once the characters are positioned around your level, you press the play button at the top of the screen to begin recording your scene. You then have a countdown and then must begin controlling the puppets while also recording your voice. Every action and sentence spoken must be recorded in one take. For this reason, I would recommend using this app for a group activity for maybe 3 students. One could be the narrator, while the others voice and move their characters. Once your take is complete, it will play back the recording of the scene. In this screen, you are also able to add music to build on the mood of the scene and portray the character's emotions. I think this is a really great touch, and they make it really easy for the students, as they have provided over 20 different soundtracks for different emotions. One problem I do have is that I found the audio levels of the music to be too loud, to the point of drowning out the voices for some of them. There is no way to adjust these levels, which is very unfortunate.
Who's there? A lady came running out of the cabin, machete in hand. Monster!
Monster! From here, the process is repeated for the other scenes, which can take place in totally different background locations or different sections of the same background. In my story, I featured the school and campground locations. Once all of your scenes are completed, you click the Finish button in the top right to complete your production. Here's something that I put together quickly as a test. It's not exactly high art, but I think it's reflective of the types of stories that the students could make. Also, it turns out it's really hard to maintain different voices for multiple characters.
Oh no. I think I'm lost. Where did everyone else go? Where am I?
This all started back at school, where Kevin's teacher, Mrs. Brown, was giving the students instructions for their school camping trip. Remember, you are to stay with the teacher at all times. You are not to go running off. There are dangerous animals out there. Kevin's friend James dismissively said, "As if. Let's sneak off and do some exploring ourselves. What's the point of a camping trip if we have to stay in camp all day?" Kevin didn't want to look scared, so he replied, "Sounds like a plan." Secretly, he was terrified of being in the dark woods, but didn't want to look bad in front of his friends. "Are you ready? Let's ditch the camp while she's not looking," James whispered. "Ready, go!" The boys ran off into the woods, while Mrs. Brown was planning the next day's activities. Kevin didn't look back. After running for a few minutes, he turned around and couldn't see James. He had only pretended to run off as a joke, and now Kevin was lost in the dark woods all by himself. Kevin wondered where James had gone. He turned to go back, but then a giant snake popped out of the grass. Kevin freaked out and he sprinted away further into the dark woods until he came across a cabin. Kevin, who was terrified, slowly approached the cabin. The door was open and he thought he saw someone outside. Someone or something that was hairy. As he moved closer, the beast turned around and Kevin screamed, "Ah!" "Who's there?" A lady came running out of the cabin, machete in hand. "Monster! Monster!" "That's not a monster. That's just my husband." The beast stepped into the light, and it turned out it was just a man with a beard. "What are you doing way out here in the jungle, son?" he asked. "This is a dangerous place for a child." "I know. I'm sorry. We ran off from camp, and I got lost, and there was a snake, and there was..." "Whoa, calm down, calm down. We'll take you back to camp, but you gotta be more careful next time, okay?" "Okay, I'm sorry." We found him! We found him!" "Missing a boy?" Mrs. Brown gave a sigh of relief. "Thank you so much. Do you have something you want to say, James?" "I'm sorry, Kevin. I thought it would be funny, but I was really scared for you for a while." "That's okay. I shouldn't have agreed in the first place." "Sorry, Mrs. Brown." Once complete, it is possible to go back and edit the story, or download the completed story as a video to view within the iPad's Photos gallery. This would make presenting the video to the class very simple using an Apple TV and AirPlay. Now that we've seen what this app is capable of, I'll now go through the different New South Wales syllabus outcomes that I think Toontastic would be suitable for. This may vary between different states or different countries, but if I missed any, please let me know down in the comments section so that everyone else can see too. Before I start, I would like to say that I think this app would be most suitable for Stage 1 and Stage 2 classes. I think that the combination of fine motor skills of navigating the puppets while also talking would be too difficult for early Stage 1. And while I think that there are certainly aspects of this that could be used by older students, I think the cutesy look would put some of them off. Firstly, this could be used for the drama aspect of creative arts. Puppetry and video drama are both listed drama forms in the syllabus. The app would give students the opportunity to embody different characters that they are controlling. The app allows students to manipulate their voices to suit the characters and their emotions, or you could challenge them to voice multiple characters at once. One thing I would talk to the students about before beginning the lesson is to talk about how stereotypes can be offensive. Previously in drama classes I've had, when we began to embody other characters, a lot of the students went straight to stereotypes. And for the final drama outcomes, this app could easily allow students to work together to create a dramatic narrative. Now, I just thought I'd put this one up here, but I think this outcome is a bit of a reach. I think that the addition of the background mood music is a great way to introduce the musical concept of how music can influence emotions and tone, and why certain types of music would not suit the circumstances. But the idea of moving the puppet is probably not strong enough to justify its use on its own. I'd incorporate these ideas with other dramatic elements. Now for English, the app could be used to rework one of the students' written narrative texts into a different form of media to enhance presentation. This one is pretty straightforward. We are utilizing digital technologies. And finally, students are using the digital format to enhance their creativity by using alternate presentation formats. Okay, so that covers all of the outcomes and learning areas the app can be used for. But what do I think about the app overall? As this is my first episode, I'm going to explain the framework that I will use to grade the apps in the future. I'm using the RAT model established by Hughes, Thomas, and Scharber to assess digital resources. It stands for replacement, where the technology serves as a digital means to the same instructional practices. Amplification, where technology increases efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity of the same instructional practices. And transformation, where technology invents new instruction or a new way of learning. If, God forbid, in my travels, I look at an educational app that has no proper educational value, I'll just give it a rating of bunk. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think that Toontastic fits in the category of amplification, as we could reproduce the lessons in the physical world using finger puppets and recording it, but this allows us to create an efficient, almost professional looking animation film that can be easily airplayed to the board to present to the class, while still retaining the elements of drama and narrative writing. At the very reasonable price of free, I think this would be an easy to implement app to any classroom's toolkit of apps. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you were able to take something useful away from this. If you enjoy this, please hit the subscribe button and share this with some of your other teacher friends, as I hope to make many more of these to come. The next app that I'll be looking at is the classroom management app Classroom, as I think it is one of the most crucial apps that any teacher could have. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.